should be a very interesting semi, this one. Graham Archer and Ian Merrien. Young Mick McIntyre from the local club, and the New South Wales Junior Bowler of the Year recently. What an opportunity for him to see a couple of the more experienced exponents of the game on the world stage. Ian Merrien, fairly regular visitor to Australia. And Graham Archer, blue discs on his bowls. Perhaps the test for Graham, Shuey, is that he's more often a skip.
Yes, he is a good team skip, Steve, but I'm just talking to Gary Smith, the CEO of the World Bowls Board, and Gary was saying that he's been in brilliant form throughout this event. It's a long tournament, the World Cup, and Graham Archer put Leif Selby to the sword. He's been finding the line impeccably. He's got a wide drawing set of bowls.
Marbill shot, please make it.
Your bowl, mate.
Marbill shot.
It's a long, long stride from Graham Archer.
Yeah, he dumps the bowl a little bit. You can hear the bowl on release. Long step and just delivers the bowl, just drops it slightly on release.
Guernsey, not with a huge population, Shuey, but the Merriens, Ian and Alison, really just the high-profile pair out of Guernsey, and they've been at the top level for, it seems like, a very long time.
Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Bowles of Guernsey, the Merriens. Ian's an accountant. Rides motorbike. He loves riding around the island and visiting his home in France. 5 short bowls. Big bend on these bowls. They come back at right angles to the line. Not a bad idea on carpet to have a wider drawing set, because obviously there's no wind and it's sometimes a little bit easier to get perfect line. Very wide at the widest point of the draw there, what they call the shoulder, and then it just swoops as if it's coming down the mountain. It just cuts across.
Ian, a runner-up at the British Isles Indoor Singles Championship 2008. Certainly runs through the family, not just with his wife, but 2 brothers, dad, mother-in-law.
Not sure whether Ian's bowl will get back. See the different angle that's coming in. It's not as big a swoop on the bowl. Still could be 1 down. It's a lot straighter. And see how it's slightly wobbling because it's a lot tighter set of bowls.
This long stride that Graham utilises, Shuey, what does that mean for the length that he might be better at?
Well, probably long. Most of the Scots play long ends very well. He's very experienced though, Graham. I don't think he's got a preference long or short. He's a brilliant team skip. Now this should swoop through the gap and come back right on the jack.
Super bowl there from Graham Archer. And he's on the front foot here. in more ways than one, as he picks up a couple in the first end of this first men's semi-final against Ian Merrien. So it's Scotland over Guernsey at the moment, 2-0. Fourth end, first set. Graham Archer and Ian Merrien of Scotland and Guernsey, respectively, and it's Archer making the early running. Ian Merrien doesn't carry any weight, Shu. He looks a picture of fitness, doesn't he? All the exercise he gets on the bike. And
yeah, he looks like a marathon runner. Skin and bones. He's looks like he'd do with a good steak. He's on his back. He's good. I think he's actually too tense at the moment, Steve. You can see from his body language, it's quite measured. He doesn't look relaxed at all in this semi-final. As Archer's, he seems, Graham Archer at 71%. That's very good in singles, and Ian Merrien would be hoping to improve on his 55%. Oh, Archer, what a bomb.
That's a beauty from Graham Archer, and puts a smile on the faces of the bowling spectators here. That's what they love. They've come to see how the game should be played. A little bit of noise somewhere. Someone's dropped something just as Ian was stepping on the mat. Good idea to step off, refocus, go through your pre-shot routine again.
Might force Graham to switch to his forehand.
Well, he's clearly the better of the two at the moment, Graham Archer. He's looking confident. He's got the feel for the rink.
I'm finding it an interesting contest between their sets of bowls, Steve. The fact that Graham Archer's got a very wide biased set of bowls. Ian Merrien's got a tight set. And it seems to be the wide drawing set that's more consistently close to the centre line. So it's not always about getting a narrow set of bowls. And I think this is a very good example of where a wider drawing set of bowls is an advantage at times. Big swoop at the finish.
Oh, he knows how to use that swoop, though. He's really applying the screws here. And, Ian Merrien's in all sorts of bother, and it's we're not yet halfway through the first set.
Not a big. Sorry,
Steve.
It's not a big target. I think he's going to have to drive forehand, jack, spring or belt that front one onto the jack. I don't think he's going to draw his way out of trouble, Ian Merrien, on this end.
A lot of the airlines give you some allowance for carting sporting goods around the world. Bringing a set of bowls from Scotland, you'd hope for a sympathetic person at the airline counter. And weight it is, bounced out of the hand. Needs luck, hits nothing. And might at least take some of the tension out of the arm and shoulder of Ian Merrien.
Got it away really rough, Steve. It bounced out and pushed it wide.
Action just looked a touch jerky as he got an energetic amount of follow through, but it was wide, and that's 3. That's the best pickup of the match so far, and it's all down the Scotland column as he moves to a 7-0 lead, Graham Archer.
Just looking at Graham Archer's very high setup. Keeps the head down, doesn't really look up the green. Now the head's coming up at a long stride. Fluid arm action. It's a nice rhythm, but really not that well balanced. Ian Merrien has a short step compared to Graham Archer. Body weight goes down and then forward and then up a bit with the head. It's a little bit topsy-turvy on the release for Ian Merrien.
Archer probably at this point doesn't want to look at the score card because it's so good. He's just keep doing this. Don't look how far in front you are, and persisting with the length that seems to be finding out his opponent and that he's enjoying on the evidence of first bowl of the fifth end.
He's playing well, Steve. A good way to maintain concentration if you have a big lead in an important match such as this is always imagine you're trailing on the scoreboard. If you start thinking, oh, I'm 7-0 up, I'm going brilliantly, it's a totally different mindset than if you tell your subconscious mind that you're 7-0 behind. You really do tighten up your reach. Oh, that's an excellent bowl from Ian Merrien.
Oh, it's his best of the match, and doesn't he need it?
It really helps you to focus intensely if you imagine you're trailing. You just don't waste as many bowls. If you've got a handy lead, too many players tend to relax, and all of a sudden then they can't cope when their opponent starts coming back at them.
Oh, how good is he playing? Oh, that was a great attempt for the conversion from Graham Archer.
Last bowl. His is just under jack high, mate.
Tactically, the best way to approach a head like this is to play as if you're one down, try and disturb it. Oh, that's blocked Archer's backhand. He'll have to now come in with weight on the forehand, but quite an inviting 2 bowls plus jack available on the forehand, overdraw weight. Not a real difficult shot this for Graham Archer. Okay, he set up his last with weight through the gap. I think the best tactic for Ian Merrien now would be cover the back wide on the right as we're looking, preempting an Archer weighted shot. He's likely to spring the jack toward the back of the ring, so it's a good idea to cover that shot. There's no doubt that Archer's going to be reaching with weight through the gap. And that's what Ian Merrien's trying to do. Sit the Archer bowl out for a couple.
Oh. Here he comes. It's been 5 ends. We've had to wait. Ian Merrien will pick up a couple here. It won't be too late at all as long as he can string them together as his opponent's done. He's going to miss. Does he or get luck? No. Hung that out on the right. Could have forced something to happen, but the short bowl just cannon harmlessly into the ditch. Last bowl, 5th end. Merrien holding 2. Scoreless to this point. Not easy to add a 3rd, though. And understandably cautious. So his first score is a double. And he reduces the deficit from 7 to 5. 7-2 to Archer through 5 ends.
Graham Archer, who leads 7 shots to 2 after 5 ends.
Well, it was a very good end, the fifth. Graham Archer, great start. Merrien, his best bowl of the match. To answer. Archer nearly converted there, and then Merrien, boom, sits that one out. 2, thanks. Was trailing 7-0, now 7-2. So a subtle change to the look of the length, Shuey. Ian's taken the mat right back on the tee.
Yeah, it's worked well, hasn't it, Steve? He's 1.5 meters short with the opening bowl.
Oh, you're tough.
Well, he had to. I guess he had to try something, but I actually felt his last end was his best end of the match, and he has had this subtle change of length. But I have been impressed with the way Graham Archer's been finding the centre line. He's been nailing the line perfectly, and that's almost the best bowl you can play in a game of singles with your opening bowl, just in front of the jack, leave a small gap, and finish on the line. The jack's available now on the backhand, but a great opening bowl from Graham Archer. That's very good. He's set up. He's
Fast bowl. Just under a foot, mate.
broadened the target. There's a nice backhand conversion or a firm backhand running shot on offer now for Ian Merrien. The big wide arc of Archer's bowl does allow him to actually draw another shot around that short Merrien bowl.
He crashes on it, unfortunately.
That helps. You can see the plant, Archer's last bowl onto Merrien's, is going to miss the jack. So it's actually protected the head a little more. Merrien has to play more weight, but he's got to be careful not to be wide if he's going to attack now. I think it'd be wiser to draw another one close with this, and then it'd save the aggressive shot for his last.
He's definitely lifted the standard of his play, Ian Merrien, but Archer's just not going away. Change of mind, I think, there from Graham. He's on the forehand now.
That's a terrific effective rate at 82. He was at 71%. He's up to 82. Ian Merrien was at 55, so he's going backwards as Archer's piling on the pressure now.
It doesn't matter what side of the rink, I can put them in there, and I think Allison is sharing Ian's pain at the moment.
Important shot this, needs good contact. Oh, he's playing softish. Wait, what is he trying here? I've never... Well, I wouldn't have any idea how you could get the shot with that type of weight.
Well, I wonder if his confidence with the full drive was rocked by he was so off target with that earlier one, Shuey.
Yeah, well, maybe, Steve. I think you've probably 100% correct. I just could not see how you could get the shot with that type of weight.
Well, is he good enough to add a third here, Graham Archer? How good's the muscle memory? Watch this one swoop in, but has he got the weight? Will it get there? It's trying. Nope. But he'll happily take a 9-2 lead through 6 ends. Pretty impressive first set being put together by Graham Archer. First of the men's semi-finals at the World Cup at Warilla. Graham Archer's got it back how he likes it. The mat a couple of metres up. The jack is on the ditch. And Ian Merrien in a lot of trouble at 9-2 down. He's just won one of the first 6 ends. But Shuey, there's always the second set.
There is, Steve, and that's what Ian Merrien, they've got to work out a way to get back in this match. Pretty smart guy. He's an accountant. He would have done the sums. He'll know how many shots he needs on this end, Steve. And that's a good opening bowl.
Have you never met a dumb accountant? I have.
Oh. Well, numerically, I'm sure he's very strong. It's amazing, Steve, when you're in a big match, sometimes you actually forget exactly how many shots you need over the closing stages of a set. It's no good getting one on this end. He needs minimum of a double, preferably a treble. So that means tactically taking a risk.
Yes, you have to think and play your way out of trouble, and Ian Merrien's certainly capable of doing that, but can he do it today?
It's very hard because generally most players overthink. They're thinking about irrelevant information, and they're just processing stuff that they tend to lose concentration and lose their memory for weight. But both of these players are highly experienced. I think Graham Archer is showing the benefits of just week in, week out, tough competition in Scotland. That Ian Merrien, unfortunately, he doesn't really get too much tough competition until he gets into over to the British Isles Championships and bigger events in the UK for 3 seconds.
I still want that. Yes.
A couple to rest on there for Ian Merrien, should he?
Yeah, he must make this bowl, and I think the next count, absolute minimum, Steve, is a double, I think, on this end. He'd take a double now, but at the moment there's still 3 on offer if he could make this one count. Looking good, needs to sit solid, not run away. Still one. I think Graham will just stay with the draw here, Steve. A lot of players, inexperienced players, try to get the shot and they play a little bit of weight. But if they play weight and just feather that, flick that bowl out, this bowl could come in the count. You could find yourself 3 down. So tactically, instead of trying to be a hero and trail the jack for 4, with the risk of turning your nearest bowl out, it's a smarter move just to draw close to the jack. Get greedy.
Oh.
Get 4.
Wait a minute. Graham Archer. This performance is a revelation. He's up 9-2 and he's holding 4 for 13-2. As you mentioned, he's an accountant. He's done the numbers here. If he doesn't do something about this 4, they'll go straight to the second set because he'll be more than 8 behind if he drops a 4 here. He's thereabouts. Might get the jack. Might get the jack. Follow it straight in. Thanks for coming. 4 down to 2 up. Maybe. This was the one. Much better effort than his earlier 2 running shots. Well, the first was a drive, but that's 100% where he wanted it.
Well, that's good news for Ian Merrien anyway. He's got a counter there.
Yeah, so there's a couple to Ian Merrien, and he stays alive in this first set. Well, Ian Merrien, down 9-6, very much locked on to the idea that if he's going to scramble out of this first set with perhaps a drawn scoreline, it's got to be over this shorter length.
He's done the sum, Steve. He can win this set.
Yeah, he needs a 4, but
he can get the full count.
Look, I can do that sum, but
no, Archer's playing too well. A draw would be a win mentally, I think. But I really think Graham Archer's just playing He's just too solid. I don't think there's a 3 on offer. Must pull the switch to the backhand.
Your bowl.
A lot of players would stay on the forehand, try and draw one. He must pull the switch to the backhand now and try and trail the jack. Terrific effective rate, 82. He's been around that area. 64. Ian Merrien's improving, but I think he's just going to fall short. Good position, the shot and position. So a 4 is still on at the moment. A 3, definitely on. Well, I think Archer would have to break down. He'd have to pull a hamstring or something here. What a player. What a player. Covered the trail. Doesn't need the shot. Now Merrien needs to draw 2 more inside that last Archer bowl to tie the set.
You're suggesting that's difficult, Chewy?
Can't get the 4. Can get 3, but Graham Archer knew where the danger was. He covered it. He's not counting, but he secured the head, I feel. Hang on.
Here it comes.
Hang on.
Gee, I thought that was too wide, but there's one.
Oh, he's pushed the jack away.
Oh, and a rueful smile there. That couple of inches that the jack's moved could be crucial.
Oh.
2 down.
Sometimes on a short end, this is where the adrenaline kicks in and it's hard to hold them back. Still got 2, Merrien, so the 3 is there for the tie. It's not a bad head to play to. What Ian Merrien must do, if there's any doubt about the measure between those two, he needs to just reach up, draw onto that, and that bowl hopefully flop out, and he'll be holding the 3 that he needs for a tie. If he thinks he's got 2 already, he'll just draw close to the jack.
There's so much on the line. Do you make up your own mind? Ask the marker. Will you put more stock in what he says, or?
Well, he's got
It's
younger
too
eyes.
tight.
Mickey
Yeah.
McIntyre is holding up 2 lollipops.
Ian Merrien has trailed 7-0 and 9-2.
This for 9 all. Oh, he's pushed it out.
Archer won't play his last.
He's pushed it out, Steve.
Yeah, there we go. I won't play my last, says Graham Archer. He's happy to drop 2. So the first set goes to Graham Archer. He concedes a couple to Ian Merrien, and he holds on to take the first set, 9-8. And more of this in the second, we hope, as Ian Merrien attempts a comeback. Quentin Hull will join Ian Schuback.
First men's semi-final at the World Cup for 2011. Scotland versus Guernsey. Archer and Merrien doing battle. It'll be Northern Ireland versus Australia in the next match, with James Talbot of Northern Ireland to take on the Australian indoor champion Brett Wilkie. Who will take the first berth in the final?
These two met in round robin play, Quentin, and it was Ian Merrien winning that clash in a tiebreaker. Graham Archer said to me, they've only played once in their life, and that was in this tournament. And Graham Archer said to me at the start of this match, he said, "Oh, I've got to get one back on him. I owe him one," he said to me. So he's very keen to avenge that loss to Ian Merrien in the round-robin play.
Scott's there looking on. Pretty happy with this bowl from their countryman.
He's got a little bit jerky in his body weight, and the transference. He's got a little bit of lateral sideways movement and up and down movement, Ian Merrien. He's
It's just all over the place here.
Yeah, he's just tightened up a little bit with his technique, and he really has sprayed those two bowls.
It's one thing to gain a bit of a good positive feeling and momentum, as Ian Merrien did at the end of the first set, but it's another thing to keep it. And it's just careering away from him at the moment, because Archer has taken the first end of this set, and now he's holding 3.
Just watch his head. Sometimes he bobbles, goes down, then up, and a little bit across. He comes down, and then up, and then down. Yeah, just not really fluent at the moment with the transference of weight. Needs the jack because he's quick.
It's scooting away to, well, I mean, they're there grouped together, and I just wonder whether Graham Archer will go for insurance here. He might as well. He's got 3. He's leading 1-0, and he's a set up. Which bowl would you play here, Shuey?
I'd stay on the forehand, try and draw a toucher, hide that jack out of sight.
Okay.
If you miss a little bit wide.
And you go through?
Yeah, because you want to cut the jack across to the left as we're looking from behind the mat. So you play it slightly on the wide side. If you miss the jack, just finish in behind.
Has he learnt that lesson from, what end was it, the 7th end, when he was 3 up and got greedy for 4?
Well, he's taking your advice. He's pulling the switch, Quinn, and he's running for cover.
Just getting out of there, yeah.
Ian Merrien did not try to trail the jack with his last bowl. He was trying to draw shot.
He might even count here too. That's pretty close. Hard from that angle.
You just look at Ian Merrien's head, how it goes straight down, and then it pops up, and then down. He's got a little bit of rock and roll happening. Shortish step. The bowl's tilted. Not a great. The weight goes early. Wobbles the release. Not really technically coming together at the moment for Ian Merrien. He's really played his worst 3 bowls of this semi-final. Can he regroup and draw close?
Well, he's going to have to do it with a count confirmed as 4 for Archer. The last bowl of the end. Big moment early in the second set for the man from Guernsey.
Hasn't sent it, I don't think, Quentin. Second shot would be great. Oh, he is there.
You were saying?
Oh, unlucky, but it's a big save.
Well, it's almost the bowl that you were suggesting Graham Archer to play.
Yeah.
Tuck the jack away and stay for 4, but
Might have got a second shot, I think.
just a matter of how many he's taken out of the camp. Well, 2 are kicked out, so that's 2 to Scotland. And that'll be it. So 4 down and 2 down. It's still a good start to the second set for Archer, but an important bowl there from Merrien just to keep the scoreboard from getting too far out of his reach early in this second. Well, certainly not the dream start for Ian Merrien in the second set, but boy, oh boy, that last bowl of the previous end may prove to be important. 5-0 to Archer would have been a very, very strong position for the Scot. As it is, it's 3-0. He's still in an excellent position, but this man's got to knuckle down and get on the jack a bit earlier.
It's a good example there of Ian Merrien keeping his line of sight up the rink. A lot of players look down at their bowl or as they release, but keeps his head up and his eyes focused on his aiming point. Graham drops his head down, then the eyes come back up. He's been correcting beautifully, Graham Archer, throughout this semi-final.
How short's that one?
You look at Ian Merrien's eyes here. They're focused up the rink. They do not deviate on his aiming point at all. That is a good technique. Archer drops the eyes, then comes back up at the point of release, then goes back down to check whether he's actually hit his aiming mark. Quite a contrasting style of getting line.
Very similar bowl to his first. Even worse. So, not the correction required from Merrien. And this is the issue. Well, they're grouped, I suppose, Shuey, but he's got to pull out some bomb with his third or fourth bowl.
Well, that's right. The pressure's building all the time. When you don't get close with your first or second bowl in singles, Quentin, you're not going to win too many matches. And Archer's just compounding the headache that Ian Merrien would have at the moment. Always good to have a mental cue. If you start struggling in a match, which happens to all players, it's always good mentally just to have a routine. This is looking slightly better for Wade.
He'll just draw the shot, will he? Yes. Massive correction. Well played.
That was Ian Merrien's best pressure bowl of the match. So Archer now will be trying to touch the jack with soft weight.
Here's last. Down one. Close. A beauty. Oh, gee, I thought I was going to get more of that jack. Apologies to Scottish fans. I thought that was going to just push it through for a couple, but...
He's got the shot, but he was very unlucky not to be holding two, Quentin.
Yeah. That's 50 each way.
If there's any doubt at all in your mind, if you're playing a shot like this, Ian Merrien must play as if he's one down, not hope that he's one up. So any doubt at all, play the shot as if you are down. And he's playing firm weight, so he must feel he's one down.
Well, we'll find out in a moment, because that's not going to scatter the head.
Oh, wow.
Oops.
Gee, Mickey McIntyre, he's got a bit nervous there. And oh.
Well, the measure's a bit sticky. They're happy enough with the measure in the end. And it's Ian Merrien's 3-1 to Archer. Well, he might gobble the jack here. Yes, indeed. Don't count out this man. He's been able to ride out a few flat patches, but he's right in it at the moment. Right in the belly of the bowl. Oh, and there's just a hint of positive body language now starting to appear on the face of Ian Merrien.
I think it'd be an absolute Houdini act if Merrien got up and won this, because he's not playing that well, Quentin, but as you just alluded to, he's in with a show.
Houdini would have been no good if everyone expected it. I mean, that was the part of the fun. He surprised everyone.
And now he's actually looking almost like a winner.
Yeah, he was in chains and padlocks in the box, you know, 4 metres underwater at 7-0 and 9-2 in the first set. So he's had that part done. Can he get out of it?
He's drawn another shot. This is a monster bowl coming up from Archer because he's got to stop the rot now. He's lost the last 2 ends. He's 2 down. He's going to lose the lead if he fails here. Can the Scotsman hold his nerve?
Monster bowl, as it's been termed. To finish this 5th end, slows and bends, and that's a beautiful piece of play from Graham Archer. Will it stop and flop? Oh, it's still on the running surface. It's not going to... Yes, it does. It does fall over, which may be telling.
Hope Mickey McIntyre doesn't measure. Oh, he's going to measure, Quentin. Look out.
He'll have steadier hands this time. We hope. He's got a bit more room to work with here.
Get another measure. It's jamming.
Yeah, that one's a little sticky, Mickey. I tell you what, if that bowl didn't fall down, yeah, that's made the difference, I reckon. The bowl flopping down has definitely made the difference there for Archer. And the monster bowl, helped by gravity, gives him the shot. Here it is again, 1 to Archer. And right here, he probably didn't have the shot, but then, bang. Archer, 4-2. Well, Graham Archer is on the mat, but Ian Merrien has dictated length and mat position here after Archer couldn't get his roll of the jack right. And it's a weird looking end again with that mat all the way back, but the jack not too far beyond the minimum. Just a mental lapse from the Scotsman. Will it cost him?
Well, shot with Jack high that, please, mate.
Oh, good mate.
Almost looks to be the traditional pennant player with the mere splash of Scottish blue on the side of his shirt. It's worth mentioning when you see a bowler all dressed in white these days, shall we?
Yes, and no bright set of bowls on the rink either. Dark blue, and Merrien's got a bit of a fleck colour in his bowl, but there's enormous tension at the moment on the rink, Quentin.
Just about to say that you can hear the tension.
Yeah,
the silence and the...
Yeah, it's deafening, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, the players, you can see it
Position, please, mate.
on their faces, their expressions. It's tense.
That muttering that you said you could hear as a player in the crowd.
Holding 1.
What do you think? How's he going? I don't know. The Scottish guy's playing well, but geez, hasn't put him away yet.
79%. Archer's, he's had the better of Merrien the whole match on the effective rate, but he cannot hang on to the shots enough. Oh, this looks like a beauty coming in here. He doesn't want to move the jack. Oh, that's a great bowl. Covered the dangerous side of the rink, the backhand trail. So tactically, what you do now would be draw close with this one. If you don't draw the shot in Merrien's, he's playing backhand. Just draw close. Then if you fail here, you play forehand with weight and rip the shot bowl out, or play conversion weight. But this is the shot that's let Ian Merrien down. He doesn't play this shot too well. Good line, but 1.5 meters overweight. But he's got the backwood, which puts some doubt in Archer's mind, saying, what's he going to play now? Should I cover the trail? I actually would cover the back of the rink.
So this is where you play to the fact that you're 4-2 ahead.
Yeah.
And holding 1 at least.
and make Merrien play the difficult soft-weighted shot. If you get greedy and draw another one near the jack, he plays the firm-weighted shot, springs the jack off the rink, and you drop it double.
So that's a deliberate bowl.
Yeah.
Very well played.
So he's got the back of the rink covered. He's got both spots covered. He's massive tension out there. Have I done the right thing? What's he going to play? Must play the shot he thinks he can make. But I think he should come in on this forehand side, rest that out, plan B, trail the jack a metre.
Last bowl of the end and a big moment in this match. Bending now. Too much though, is it? Yep, bending too much. It's a couple to Archer, and that may be the point that we reflect back on, and that Ian Merrien reflects back on, and he thinks, gee, if I wasn't narrow there, I might have stayed in the contest. But now it's going to be very hard for him as Archer goes 6-2 ahead, having won the first set 9 shots to 8. Well, if required, there are 3 ends left in this second set. But now Archer has the advantage of leading by a full count, and he also won the first set. And he's on the jack straight up here to start the 7th.
Yeah, he's just applying constant pressure now to Ian Merrien, Quentin, and I think he'd be a little bit more relaxed with a 4-shot lead. 3 ends remaining, so Merrien needs a multiple count.
Well, if he gets out of this, Shuey, and wins the game, it'll be interesting to hear the way he assesses his performance, Graham Archer. His effective rate's been terrific.
He has been quite patient. He hasn't played too many rash shots.
How short was my bowl?
He's highly experienced. He's been skipping Scottish teams, both indoor and outdoor, for many years. I think he won his first Scottish indoor singles title in about 1999 or thereabouts. As I mentioned earlier, he had the legendary player Willie Wood as his 3rd in the Commonwealth Games team in Manchester 2002. Houdini's getting nervous. He's setting the trap. I'm not sure, but he's going to have to punch that last bowl onto the shot bowl now. So it's a terrible head now for Ian Merrien to escape from. He's dug a really big hole with 2 short bowls. Any shot at all to Archer on this end, he should have a big enough lead to win the match. When you get nervous, you drop short, generally. You've got to open the head up right now, Quentin. You cannot play soft weight to a head like this. You rumble through the 4 short bowls, open it up, give yourself an opportunity with your last. Doesn't look like the shot that Merrien's going to try, though.
No, he's just trying to dead draw again. Needs to promote his earlier bowl, and does, yes, for the shot. I think he's got it. Well, that would have been in the thought process. Got lucky off the slide from Archer's bowl at the top of the head.
He's playing backhand. That suggests that he thinks he's holding 1. A very defensive tactic if Archer is down.
Well, we'll probably get an indication as to what Ian Merrien plays here. As far as the state of the head, it was pretty tight. Pretty big moment in the match again for Merrien. We've said it a bit about the man in green. Houdini is gasping for air. He needs some hope here. It's going to hit the bowls and clatter. What's going to happen? Nothing. So, the measure for shot. Oh, sticky Mickey. Once bitten. Twice shy. Okay, so that was the Archer bowl. Oh, and it is Merrien's. It's rolled out, so it's shot.
The measure goes away.
6-3 to Archer. 2 ends left.
Scotland's Graham Archer with 2 ends to play in the second set.
The time has come for Guernsey's Ian Merrien. He must win this end to extend the contest. If Archer takes 1 or more, well, 1 makes it 7-3, and as Archer won the first set, even if Merrien was to get all 4 in the 9th end, it could only be a tie, and Archer wins it 1.5 to 1/2. So any count here for the Scotsman, and he will be the first man through to the final. But that being said, you just imagine a little bit of drama if Merrien could pick up 2 here.
No, he's out of tricks, Quentin. Graham Archer has just been too steady on the draw shot. I like the fact
Precise.
that Archer has been very patient as well. He hasn't changed his tactic. He hasn't
How
changed.
far through is my bowl?
He hasn't changed his shot selection too much at all. He's just stayed on the draw shot throughout. He's put up a tremendous fight, Ian Merrien. He must not drop short to a head like this. He's got to spring that jack.
Turns his back on it. Yeah, he knows that's an average bowl.
So gap with my bull, please, Mickey.
I beg your pardon?
The gap with my bull, the jack.
Couple inches, mate.
I don't think that was the distance between the mat and the head that Mickey was coming forward to just hear what Graham Archer was saying, that wonderful Scottish accent. Sometimes it can just take a second listening to get what's being said.
Yeah, I love it, Quentin. It's
The gap and marble. Well, he's tucked the high road and the low road there, one above, one below.
Yeah, I think that's a deliberate bowl. Get the backward in early, knowing that Merrien sooner rather than later should be playing weight now. He needs to get that shot bowl away from the jack right now, or spring the jack out into the open. Not even Houdini, I don't think, could draw this.
He wasn't a very good bowls player, though. Escapism was his craft, Shuey.
Yeah, well, there's no bowls to wick off. He can't get any flukes or miracles to a head like this.
Last bull pass, please.
Foot.
So what Graham Archer will do now is try to draw as close as he can to that last Merrien bowl, just below the jack. He won't want to sit this bowl alongside his nearest bowl to the jack. He'd like to pass by just 1/3 of a metre would be perfect. Been very impressed with his tactical approach, Archer, to this game. Keeping away and just getting behind. Very, very happy with that.
That's another ponderance for the man from Guernsey.
He's got to convert this head, and with the right amount of weight, Quentin, he's got to come in, get the outside edge of that, and spring the jack to here. And the way you play that is draw to this area. You're coming through playing a draw shot, solid contact on the shot bowl, run through to count, and just delicate movement of the jack. You need to hit the shot bowl with no more than 2 meters of weight. metre and a half of running on the backhand to stay alive.
If things don't change, this will be the last bowl. Close, but no. Just a bit too much juice. It looked all right out there on that carpet, but it just had a bit too much momentum and it didn't take the bias, stayed wide, and as a consequence, Graham Archer wins the day. He claims 1 in the 8th end. We don't require the 9th. And congratulations all round for the Scot, who was the first man into the final. 9-8, 7-3. Here's the victor, Graham Archer, with Steve Rebellion.
Well, it was a straight sets win for Graham, but how did you feel about that? It was probably tighter than the scorecard looked.
Yes, it was a tight game. Ian's a very hard opponent to play against, so all you got to do is try and keep it as tight as possible and just hope to keep scoring, and that's exactly what I've done during the game. I'm so delighted with that.
Just looking at the first set, I think you led 7-0 and then 9-2, and then he just about caught you. What was going on there?
Yeah, but you get to that stage when that up in the set, all you got to do is try and lose one and get second shot, and that's the way I played the end of it. I was quite confident, even though he was coming back at me, but he wasn't scoring the big counts, so that's why I was quite happy he was still behind me.
Looks like you're well in control of what looks a wide drawing set of bowls. How do you like them here?
Yes, the bulls have been sort of cause some amusement here because it takes a wide draw, but these are the bulls that we play with back home, and I'm happy with the big swing down. I'm quite confident the way I'm playing with them. They're working well on the carpet so far, anyway.
Well, good luck for the final.
Thanks, Steve. Cheers.
Our next program from the World Cup is the second of the men's semi-finals, with James Talbot of Northern Ireland to take on Brett Wilkie of